Welcome to the Life After Sugar podcast, the podcast that's not just about sugar, but about your relationship with it and also with food and especially with yourself. So if you want to discover your life after sugar and hear inspiring stories from all kinds of people who also cut out sugar in their way, at their pace, for their own reasons, this is the podcast for you. Because when you take away the sugar, you can finally discover the real sweetness in your life. I'm your host, Netta Gorman. Imagine, it's Friday night. You're at a friend's house, dinner was great, everyone's relaxed, and then someone brings out dessert. Come on, you have to try this. I made it just for you. All eyes are suddenly on you. You smile, you want to be polite, but inside there's that split second of tension. What do you say? That's what this week's episode is all about. We'll get to what do you say when someone offers you sugar in just a minute. But first, I just wanted to tell you that if you're looking for some free resources, then I have plenty for you. First, download my 5 tips to get rid of cravings. And those 5 tips may not be what you think they are. So go to aftersugarclub.com and download your 5 tips today. And while you're at aftersugarclub.com, why not take the cravings quiz? I created this cravings quiz specifically to help you start thinking more deeply about what triggers your cravings. And when you do this quiz, you'll get your personalized score as well as my practical tips to help you take your first step to get rid of cravings. Those free resources are at aftersugarclub.com. And also, come check out the Life After Sugar Facebook page and subscribe to the Life After Sugar YouTube channel, as well as my Instagram account at MyLifeAfterSugar, which is where you'll get all kinds of inspiration so that you can see that it's perfectly possible to live a happy and active life, even if you don't eat sugar. So maybe it's Sunday afternoon, you're at your mom's place, she's already cut you a slice of cake before you even sit down. It's your favorite, she says, and now it's sitting right there in front of you, and you don't want to hurt her feelings, but you also don't want to eat it, or maybe you do, but you're really trying hard to break this habit of eating something sweet after a meal. Or maybe it's just a regular Tuesday evening, you're home, you're finally settling down after a long day, and your partner opens a bag of sweet treats and says, "Do you want some?" It would be so easy to say yes. I mean, you'd already said no to yourself earlier, and you meant it. But now you're on the couch, the house is quiet, you're exhausted. You just don't have enough willpower left to say no. So it's not just about what to say to someone else. It's also about what to say to yourself. So here's the good news. This isn't about willpower, even if you and probably most people think it is. I was exactly the same. I used to think that I couldn't say no because I just wasn't strong enough, or I should be more disciplined, or I should try harder next time. But actually, willpower is one of the absolute least reliable tools you can depend on. And research from the American Psychological Association shows that willpower draws on a very limited pool of mental energy that gets depleted over the course of the day, especially when you're tired, stressed, or making lots of decisions all through the day. So it makes sense that at the end of the day, when you're already drained, that's when it feels the hardest to make any kind of decision, especially to say no to what you're actually craving. So as I said, the good news is that this isn't about willpower. It's not a personal failure on your part, there's nothing wrong with you, and there is something that you can do when these types of situations happen. First of all, why is it so hard to say no to yourself or to anyone else? Let's start with other people. Most of the time, people are not trying to make this difficult for you. It's very likely that they have no idea that you're even trying to reduce sugar. When someone offers you dessert or bread or something they baked, it's very often coming from a place of love. They want to share. They want to please you. They want you to enjoy what they made. And it's easy to forget that and to get into defensive mode, or to feel judged, or to think, why are they doing this to me? But actually, very often, it's not so much about you, it's about their need to offer love. And maybe it's just the form of what they're offering that doesn't quite fit. So if you reject their offer of love, this can make them feel misunderstood or rejected. And what you can do is to recognize that offer of love, that good intention, instead of trying to explain everything about sugar or about how bad sugar is for your health. This isn't the time to do that. The first thing that you can say is, thank you. I really appreciate this. Or I really appreciate that you made this for me. But for right now, I'm trying not to eat sugar or flour or whatever the food is because I'm having some issues, or you could say digestive issues or health issues, whatever is true for you. And I'd rather not make them worse at this time. People who love you and care about you don't want you to feel bad. So if you can explain that you're not rejecting them and you're certainly not rejecting their love, it's just that you're at a place where you're trying to feel better, then this can go a long way to helping someone else understand why you're saying no thank you. I want to take a quick break to say that if this is your first time here, then welcome and thank you for listening to this podcast. And whether you're new or a regular and you haven't yet rated or reviewed this podcast, could I ask you to scroll down and tap on the stars to rate this podcast and also to write a short review to let me know how this podcast is helping you in your life after sugar. I love reading your reviews. And when you rate and review this podcast, not only does it encourage me to continue making new episodes, but it also helps to share this podcast and have more people see it so that we can help more people feel better and lose weight with less sugar. So again, thank you for rating and reviewing this podcast and for spreading the word about sugar. So just before the break, I was giving you a few tips about what to say to other people who are offering you foods with sugar or flour in them. So it's not a question of rejecting the person or their gesture of love, or even starting some kind of debate about how bad sugar is. It's about recognizing the good intentions behind the offer and gently and kindly saying, no, thank you. Here are other things you could say. I'd rather not. Thank you. I find that I'm feeling so much better without sugar. Or if someone has made something specifically for you, you're so kind. I really appreciate it. But for now, I'm going to pass. So in this way, you're acknowledging them and their gesture and not rejecting them. If it's the end of a meal, you could say, I'm full, thank you. Or what I often say, I'm enjoying myself so much with you, I don't need anything else. And notice what's not in these responses. No lectures, no sugar is poison, no quoting scientific studies about the effects of sugar, because you don't want to create more tension. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to give love back. All right, let's get back to that moment on the couch. It's the end of a hard day, you're completely exhausted, and all your willpower is gone. And remember, willpower actually has nothing to do with it, but it feels like it does. So sometimes what's harder than saying no to someone else is trusting yourself to say no when you've already promised yourself that you would. And it's about self-trust. Because very often you've said no to yourself in the morning or on Monday or at some other time, but when it comes down to it, your mind starts negotiating. Maybe I was too strict. Or, just one won't hurt. Or, I'll start again tomorrow or next Monday. And suddenly, you're right back in it. This is where a lot of people think they've failed. But actually, nothing has gone wrong. You've done nothing wrong. You're just noticing that habit. You notice that internal chatter, but it doesn't mean that you have to act on it. It just means that you're in the middle of changing a habit that used to be automatic, and now you're more aware. And that's a very powerful place to be. So here's a small shift that can help you in all of these moments where you feel that you can't trust yourself to say no. Instead of thinking, I let myself down, I can't be trusted around this type of food, see if you can learn to respond in a gentler, kinder way to yourself and to others. Because you can do both. You can be kind to yourself and you can take care of yourself at the same time, and this can translate into what you choose to eat or not to eat. And you don't have to be perfect about it every single time. There may be times where you didn't eat what you told yourself you would, or you did eat what you told yourself you wouldn't. But the trick is to learn from this experience and to move on without beating yourself up about it or using this so-called failure as an excuse to throw everything you've achieved out the window. So if you take one thing away from this episode, it's compassion, self-compassion and compassion for others. And that means not having to be perfect and not expecting perfection from others. And as a teacher, I can tell you that the more you practice this, the easier it gets. It's a skill that you can learn and develop. And the more skilled you are at trusting yourself and at knowing what to say to others and to yourself, the more confident you will feel. And sometimes this is really difficult to do on your own, which is exactly why the guidance and support and accountability you get in my Freedom from Cravings Formula program is so important. Because I created this program specifically for women over 50 to help you go deeper into your relationship with food, especially sugar, and also into your relationship with yourself, and so that you can get guidance and support to help you stop emotional eating, break free from sugar cravings, slim down, and feel more in control around food. In the program, you'll get step-by-step guidance and customized support through the 5-step formula that I've developed so that you can live your life with more energy and fit into your favorite clothes effortlessly, feel confident in your food choices, and ditch the shame and embarrassment that you feel every time your emotions make you slip or fall off the wagon, and so that you never have to feel like you're on some kind of restrictive diet. By the time you're 50 and over, you've spent decades looking after everybody else. And now it's your turn to take care of yourself. So let's chat about your specific needs and why you want to break free from cravings. You'll find the link to book a free video chat with me with this episode in the show notes. That's it for this week. Keep in touch and see you soon for another episode.